It's very encouraging at this time of year as we go towards a new year, reading the Biggleswick Times. I don't know whether you get to read the Biggleswick Times. It's a fantastic newspaper from the town Biggleswick. Do you remember Biggleswick? It was that town that the people, a year or so ago now, turned their back on the council when the council was run by corporations, really. And the people of the town of Biggleswick decided, you know what, we don't want to be run by a corporation that is in the pocket of the government and all their WEF affiliations and things. And the people of Biggleswick, very sensible people of Biggleswick, decided, you know what, we'd like to run the council ourselves because we live here and we want to decide what goes on in our own town and surrounding countryside. And I've reported on this, of course, this wonderful allegory that is Biggleswick. And of course, I'm sure that many other towns could follow suit and would like to follow suit if only they could get themselves as organised as the people of Biggleswick once did. Anyway, reading in the Biggleswick Times, it was fantastic to read over the Christmas period that the last of the many chains of supermarkets has now decided to pull out. Pull out because the people of Biggleswick were just not going to the supermarket to buy food or clothes or furniture or any of the big, highly industrialised nonsense that supermarkets sell. The people themselves of Biggleswick were going to the smaller family-run businesses and supporting genuine people rather than corporations, to the point that the Dead Entity supermarket has announced now that it is going. And I can tell you there seemed to have been a big cheer as the people, that would be the management people of the supermarket, pulled out and left for the last time. And that's a good thing because the space is now going to be redeveloped for more family-run businesses to start their own things. Tailors and cabinet makers, hatters, milliners, haberdasheries, and so on are setting up businesses where people can go and actually sell their own products, which is great, made locally, and we do love to see that. A craft centre is being positioned where the big supermarket was now, and a number of these old-fashioned crafts like hedge laying or thatching or indeed cabinet making, where people do things with their hands and have a certain sense of achievement. And it's lovely to see that is going to be taken up by many, many youngsters in the area who are keen to move away from the screens now in Biggleswick and actually do real things in a real world. So that was very encouraging. I also was quite amused by the fact that, of course, in Biggleswick, the 5G towers that had been going up have all but one been removed. Nobody wanted the weaponised system in their town, spying on them or setting off certain nanoparticles in people's bodies. And the last of the tower, there was much amusement about what they were going to do with this tower. Well, they've taken away all the technology and all the technical rubbish and the bioweapons and various things. And it's now just a pole. And apparently they've come to the conclusion that they're going to use it as a Maypole. So that on May the 1st, on the bank holiday, whenever that comes, will be a celebration. And the youngsters will dance around the Maypole, which will be gaily painted and will be very lovely, and no longer the black, sinister pole with rather nasty, nefarious gizmos attached to it. So that's very lovely and was very rewarding to see that the people of Biggleswick had decided for themselves how they want their town to be run. They long since got rid of all the surveillance cameras. They didn't want to be spied on by central government, and well done to them for making that decision. And finally, the council, the new council that is, not the council that once was a corporation and was evicting people or forcing council tax nonsense on people. No, this is the council that likes to say, yes, how can we help you, rather than no thanks and how can we hinder your life. This is the Biggleswick Council, of course, which is a completely different thing. It's actually run as a public authority by the people of Biggleswick, voted for by the people and operated by the people for the people. Anyway, the council now, with its remit, of course, to say, yes, we want to help you, is more than happy to help people get back onto the land. They've decided that the people of Biggleswick and the council have decided they don't want swathes of countryside covered with solar panels. They didn't like the idea of that at all. Or indeed those very large container-sized batteries that will be blighting the countryside and sending out EMF signals and potentially blow up and burn and cause a nightmare. And so they've decided that these areas of countryside that people would like to live on, if they want to be future custodians of the countryside and have animals on there, some dairy animals maybe, or some pigs, some chickens, some bees, want to grow trees and hedges and plant crops for organic, healthy veg and fruit, then they're being incredibly encouraged to do so. People moving away from the town and spreading their wings a little bit into the countryside and growing stuff to bring to the local, real, genuine farmers' markets in and around Biggleswick, so that people can live on the land, be close to nature, and facilitate and show the next generation what actually farming is really about. Small scale, local, setting up little dairies, selling raw milk and things like that. And it's so encouraging to see all of this taking place in such a progressive town as Biggleswick, who knows that taking a step backwards to the old analogue world is in fact a wise move. Using technology to help them. No one's having to dig ditches and do long, hard, back-breaking work, of course, when technology can help them. But they are the ones that use technology to their advantage rather than letting the technology take over them and ousting their jobs. People in Biggleswick are living, it would seem, an incredibly rewarding life. So much so that the clouds have cleared and there is blue sky. And I believe that the council, the new council, the Biggleswick Council, have actually told the government in no uncertain terms that they will not tolerate any weather modifications over and above their skies and their land. And so while the rest of the country may be swathed in grey and being poisoned with various aluminium and barium and other nanotechnologies being dropped by pilots who are doing nefarious work for big central governments, the people of Biggleswick are not having to be hampered by any of that, for their airspace is clear. And that's so nice to know that people are living and breathing in clean, fresh air and able to live a wholesome life. I would recommend picking up a copy of the Biggleswick News when you can and find out what goes on in Biggleswick, because it does seem to be the place to live at the moment, in which the corporations are moving out and real people are thriving once again, just as once we did. And we had a lovely time of it. So there we are. Thank you so much for watching. And let's hope that in 2025, more towns and villages will go the Biggleswick way. Till next time, thanks for watching.